So you may think that your race is the reason why you're struggling with women. Maybe you felt invisible in certain circles, or you've seen women say that they only date a certain type and assume you're out of luck. But here's the truth. Your race doesn't matter nearly as much as you think. And after working with hundreds of guys from Asians, Indians, black men, Latino men, minorities of all walks of life, I've seen firsthand what truly matters. And in this video, I'm gonna break it down. So the very first thing I want you to normalize and have acceptance with is from the fact that you like other women or women who aren't your race. That's totally fine, because the truth is you would not be watching this video if you were an Indian guy into Indian women, or if you were a black guy only into black women, or if you were an Asian guy only into Asian women. Listen, even me, my dating background, I've dated white women. My first girlfriend was Filipino. My second girlfriend was white, Mexican mix. And of course, I've dated black women too, which most of you guys don't know that. But I like all types of women. And the truth is, you know, my dating strategy, I like who likes me. And so I'm gonna go where I'm personally desired. You yourself too. Even if you're not necessarily desired by that other race just yet, we're just gonna get into why you're not. Do understand that it is okay for you to date outside your race. In fact, I believe in the next 30 to 40 years, we're gonna see more and more mixed race children. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the National Geographic magazine in which they depicted what the average human may look like in like 30 to 50 years. That person was racially ambiguous, and it comes from the fact of how interracial dating is becoming more and more normalized. Now, of course, you're gonna have your racists, in which there's races everywhere, or people who believe that their bloodline should be pure, but that's just not how the world is going. Now, on paper, women do have types and they do have preferences. Even if they don't say that they do, they usually do, including you yourself. Your preference might be blonde women. Your preference might be brunettes. Your preference might be Latinas. Women are the same exact way. However, the number one thing that I found that supersedes race is sexual market value. That's right, your SMV. So your looks, your status, your charisma, your lifestyle, all these factors combined will always supersede race. This is exactly why we see athletes, celebrities, and high status men date whoever they want. Think about it. Do you think Travis Scott can't get a white woman? Do you think some popular actor from Squid Games can't date a white woman or a black woman? They can date anybody they want. NFL players, they date who they want. We all know this. And so at the end of the day, if you objectively increase your sexual market value, you will now have access to a more diverse pool of women. Now, the reason why this happens is because high SMV men, and when I say high, I'm talking at least an 8 overall, objectively. If we can get to an 8, that's when you're really objectively high. So these guys have positioned themselves as high value, and women don't see them through the same lens as the average guys. Any man can become that exception if he knows how to build the SMV strategically, which is in fact what this channel is all about. Maximizing your looks, maximizing your income, maximizing your presentation, maximizing your overall SMV so that you can start doing the choosing. So if you are unaware of your sexual market value, that's the first thing that we need to understand and calculate. We need to be objective with ourselves. And this is going to be based upon your age and your location mainly. Your SMV in Medellin, Colombia is not going to be the same in Miami, Florida. My SMV in Wichita, Kansas might not be the same in New York City. Also, with me being almost 30 years old, my SMV might be different now compared to if I had the same assets, the same look, the same everything at 21 years old. Because your SMV is once again based upon the people in your age category, because guess what? Those people are your competition for the most part. Now, also here's something that most guys just simply don't realize, and that is, for the most part, women do not like men who remind them too much of their fathers or their brothers. They say they do, but truth is they don't, especially if they've been exposed to a more diverse culture, be it the music they listen to, be it the shows that they watch, because at the end of the day, the media and culture influences what type of men that women like. Now, going back to Squid Games for my Asian guys, if we have another Squid Games get super popular and the woman loves Squid Games, she's now going to be more inclined to like Asian men. And if she's a blonde and white woman with blue eyes, best believe she's going to be more open to actually dating people outside her race that don't remind her of her brothers, especially if she has brothers. That's something I find even in my own case. I love black women, I love brown skinned women, but sometimes, especially if they're attractive, they almost remind me too much of my sister. And I have a twin sister, if you guys don't know, and my genes are pretty good. My sisters aren't ugly women. And so if they remind me too much of my sister or too much of my family, I'm like internally just turned off, because I don't have the incest gene, unlike some of my people in Alabama. just kidding, my Alabama guys. But as I said, here's the truth. Women want to be with other men, and we're seeing that more and more every single year. This is exactly why we see so many mixed race relationships and why mixed babies are on the rise. Attraction is not just fixed to a skin tone, it's shaped by psychology, media, novelty, and once again, how you present yourself. So the next thing I want you to do is pay attention to who is naturally attracted to you right now. The phenotype of the woman alongside with her archetype. When I say phenotype, I'm talking about how the woman looks, how her race and overall her gene expression showcases through her physical characteristics. When I say archetype, I'm talking about the character of the woman. So, for example, we'll use white women, right? A phenotype of a white woman might be blonde and blue eyes, or brunette with hazel eyes. If you're noticing that you're not getting a lot of this, but you like that, guess what we have to do? We have to try to change our own personal phenotype to a more universally attractive one that matches what that blonde, blue-eyed woman would also be into. And so the easiest way you can fix this is by not falling into stereotypes. As a black man myself, I don't thug max or I don't hood max. I don't look like the dope boy with Cartier, designer chains, and designer print logos, right? The reason why I don't do that is because I understand the archetype that I want to attract and the phenotype I want to attract. And that is not the hood black woman. The hood black woman is into that dope boy sort of look. Now going back to archetypes, going back to that blonde white woman with blue eyes, an archetype could be that conservative white woman, the type that would love a Charlie Kirk, RIP to him, or the goth or the emo girl. These are two completely different archetypes, but they can share the same phenotype and they're gonna be attracted to two different type of people. And so when you're crafting your phenotype, you gotta pay attention to who you want to attract, but also your archetype, the character that you portray. I believe a universally appealing archetype to almost every single race is that classy gentleman, the James Bond sort of archetype. Dress is nice, sexy, semi-formal, you know, all the things that I wear and that I preach. This is universally appealing. The only people that you're gonna turn off are the people who are essentially low class, if I'm being real with you. So with that being said, you just simply have to broaden your appeal. You need to craft a new phenotype. You can do this by adjusting your grooming, your hair, your fashion, changing up your physique, because physique plays into the archetype you portray too. Big bodybuilder guys, guess what? You're going to attract women who are into that look, who are likely on the juice themselves. The goal here is to simply overall be universally attractive to where we're not disqualifying any particular race or any particular type of woman, though they can still have preferences. Once again, we are aiming to be the exception. Now, if you're a guy, you want to learn how to exactly pair the right phenotype and the right archetype so that you actually start attracting the woman that you want, then check out what I made for you down below. It's called the Romeo Effect. The Romeo Effect has been battle tested for the past 5 to 6 years, and it's my proprietary online dating formula in which we craft you into that high value man that can appeal to different types of women. And we do this simply through positioning. Now, not only that, once you implement the Romeo Effect, you will start attracting more higher interest women who actually show up to the date and who actually like you, of all different races. I've worked with Asian guys, Indian guys, black guys, white guys, Pakistani guys, Muslim guys. It literally doesn't matter. Once again, I created a free presentation for you. Check it out. Link will be down below this video. So let's conclude what we've learned so far. Number one, high SMV plus a broader phenotype and archetype plus good presentation through the Romeo Effect equals being the exception. You have now expanded your dating pool to reach many types of women, and we are no longer pigeonholing ourselves to just one particular race. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind is environment and social factors, as I mentioned before. So of course, your location and the woman's cultural upbringing do matter. And at the end of the day, women will still always have preferences. That is totally fine. For example, a woman raised in a conservative household might not take you seriously regardless of the level of attraction. She might have a fun time with you, she might have a short time with you, but it doesn't mean that she'll want to bring you home. But it's not because she doesn't want to, it's more so what she may think her parents would say, her dad will say, her grandparents, etc. But as time goes along and as people start to evolve, especially with the younger generation, so I'm talking like 18, 19, 20-year-old women, they're getting more and more open to the idea of dating outside their race. Now, in terms of location, a big thing that's going to play a part here is ensuring that we live in a culturally diverse sort of area. So me living in Miami, Florida, I see all types of different people, but I was going to move to Tampa, Florida before I moved here. And when I go to Tampa, it's nothing but skinny white girls and brunettes. Like, that's it. Now, keep in mind, my personal phenotype and archetype is popular with that type of woman. However, I still want to be able to have more of a diverse pool in terms of who I'm attracting. And so with that being said, when I consider my location or where I live, I'm looking into the demographics. Is this a majority white area? Is this a pretty diverse area, etc. Now, the beauty of actually doing this and using the Romeo effect at the same time is that you don't have to waste time to try and convince these women to like you or to date outside their race. We instead simply move on and we maximize our appeal across multiple different ponds, lakes, and oceans. And in those ponds, lakes, and oceans is where we can find fish where the women who already resonate with your look and archetype are swimming. This is how we win the game. Your race isn't the issue. Once again, it's your positioning alongside with your sexual market value. You fix this, and I promise you, you will be able to date whoever you want. Once again, if you want to put all of this into action, check out the Romeo effect down below, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.